Welcome to episode 3 of our New Zealand documentary series. If you've made it this far, thank you, and today we're going to have a really cozy episode. After what was an extremely long drive yesterday, we are finally in Wanaka. Calm, quiet, scenic. These are some of the words I'd use to describe this location. You see, the town of Wanaka is completely surrounding this lake, and the lake is the centerpiece of the town. And this is the view for a lot of people just working, which is wild. It's beautiful here. After yesterday's drive from Milford Sound, we are wrecked today. We still managed to get up early and we saw sunrise and took in this beautiful view from our camper van.
Through the fog, you can see that sunrise. So pretty. Good morning. Mate, it was cold last night. That sunrise is so pretty.
It's going to be a much slower paced day.
You are our saving grace. Do not cover. I will cover you with my body.
For those who don't know, Wanaka is an hour's drive northeast from Queenstown, which from Milford Sound is just over a 7-hour drive, which is what we did the day before.
I was like, I want them to be too posy, you know.
This is the video.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh great.
And the plan today is to relax, be one with the people, just enjoy the town that is Wanaka, and then later on when the light gets really beautiful is to go to the famous spot in this town, the famous Wanaka tree. A tree that has grown in the lake and has been photographed millions of times by now, I'm sure, and it's just time for us to be one of those photographers. There's something else. Yes, do that. Perfect. But the first image for this episode is a really easy one, is this. Technically, emotionally all in. This image is all things memory. I love how much this image just encapsulates how cold it was, how cozy we were, why we were enjoying being in the van, and that sunrise that we watched from inside of our van.
We are going to go walk in the town, have a look around, maybe grab a bite to eat in the town, see what we find, do our thing. Then this afternoon we're going to go kayaking in the lake, the big lake, and then probably look at the tree straight after that, right? Yeah, we're going to go look at the Wanaka tree.
And then hopefully after that we get a beautiful clear night sky and it's just stars behind the tree. We're going to try some astrophotography, which will be keen. When we eventually did manage to get out of the camper van and we did walk around the town a little bit, I tell you now, my feet were frozen through my boots. I probably should have brought thermals, but the cold was bitter. But although it was cold, we were glad that we got out of the van and left when we did, as early as we did, because we were able to get these photos. On top of that, we didn't want to do too much in the water because, again, it is freezing cold at this time of the day. We noticed while walking along here that the sky was beautifully blue, and I had to get a couple of photos for a thumbnail for a video that I made. I can smell the air, I can still feel the cool, I can still feel the water, hear the water when we were there. The crunch of the rocks underneath our feet as we walked along, it's all very, seeing this image is very auditory and sensory for me even now. So I think it's cool that an image can hold that kind of power. I believe it was around 8 o'clock at this point, and the beauty of where the campgrounds were located is the water was just a short stroll away. So we really just spent the entirety of our morning being out and about and still not being too far away from home base. But our next stop in, now that we've seen a bit of nature, is to, see the town. See where people live, see where people work, and experience that. And if I'm honest, in classic Dom and Laurie fashion, we went down an alleyway and found a cafe. It was literally in the back of an alleyway between buildings, so the way the backs of buildings all connect, and they had a little spot to put all the tables, and we could just see the mountains in the background. And I don't know how we found it. It's just something we happen to do a lot, is just stumble across these sorts of places, and this one was just awesome. Coffee was great, the food was great. and we were very happy. We actually spent a lot of time just wandering around. I didn't take too many photos, but just seeing the town. I believe at around this point it was pushing midday, and on the way back to the van to get some lunch, food supplies and things, I managed to get this photo. Looking back at this now, I wish I edited the rock on the left out of the image because it just breaks the balance a little bit, but this couple here was just relaxing, taking in the view, and honestly, I don't blame them. We made it back to Jen, realized we got there a little bit earlier than we thought, and it's moments like this that we just take in each other and the surroundings where the really good memories start to be made. I remember sitting and having conversations here, just chilling. There's nowhere to be, no rush, no content to make, no scripts to write, no nothing, and we were just there with each other, and it was a really special moment that is so present. All right, so we grabbed our lunch supplies and made our way back out to the waterfront where they had some of the public barbecues, and we used the barbecue and cooked up some sausages and everything. Here's a film photo of Laurie with the spatula, and luck has it that we met these two friends that were skipping out on school, which was just funny and a funny interaction in general, but they were friendly enough. It's just funny the people you meet and the conversations you have when you're traveling around, because they were friendly and happy just to chat while they were just doing their thing. It was after lunch that we realized we actually had a few good hours before the light was good and we wanted to go see the tree properly. Because we haven't seen it yet, we know it's there, it's around the corner, but we wanted to really do it justice with the light. So we're just trying to do things during the day to fill up the time and then go there later. And it was about 2 o'clock, so we had a good 2 to 3 hours before the sun really started to set. So we went kayaking. There's no footage, I was not bringing the camera on the water, but wow, we're kayaking on this beautifully crystal clear glass-like water. A memory, a really good memory there to have. All right, it's time for the main event. It's hitting 3, 4 o'clock and we make our way to the tree, this infamous tree. Side note, this tree here is deceiving. Every photo you ever see of this tree never shows the bank, and it makes it look like this tree is in the center of the lake, which it's not. It's right on the bank. You can walk up to it, maybe be knee deep. It's deceiving. It's, I don't want to say underwhelming because it's still stunning in the way that it's all set up, but it's just one of those moments where you like have this whole thing built up in your head, haven't seen what it looks like in person, and you get there and you're like, oh, it's just kind of like, it's just there, which I just thought was funny. I also don't think I've ever seen so many photographers with tripods at this tree at this time. And we're not even in peak season for traveling at the moment. Like, this is autumn going into winter, and this is not holiday peak season to people to be here. And there's people everywhere. But the crowd didn't stop me. I had a wine, I had my tripod, and I was ready to take some good photos, and we got this. What a way to start this series of photos. Wow, 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 wow. The light was beautiful. And if you just look to the right of the tree just a little bit, you see the moon, which is just a nice touch. It just happened to be there. I love how crystal clear this image came out. This was a long exposure, obviously, because you can see the water is all nice and smooth and all that. But the way the light was captured in this image, the way the sensor read the light and the colors, there's not a lot of work done here, which is awesome. I love that didn't have to do a lot of work. It was all captured in camera and the light did all the heavy lifting for me. Once again, deceiving. It looks like this tree is in the middle of the water and it's not. All the other photographers around me were taking the photo of the tree at the same angle, which was further to my right. So I decided to mix it up and get this composition here. And looking back at it now, I do wish I placed the tree more to the right of the frame and like squared off a bit more to the right so I didn't have the mountain mound directly behind the trunk. It's just something in the moment I didn't think of, I didn't see, but looking back at it now, nearly a year later, I really wish I did that. And as time went on, the light just got better. These two images here are of the same scene, but just of a slightly different angle. And if I'm gonna be honest, I do think I prefer the one where you see less of the foreground and just more of just the scene itself, and that little pop of that tree that's yellow in the background, I just think has a nice focal point in the back. Your eye just snaps to it as soon as you see the image. So I think I prefer that one better. This pretty much wraps up the afternoon session. But wait, there's more. We wanted to come back out here again much later and do astrophotography with it. So we packed it up. It's about 6-ish o'clock. We head back to the campgrounds, cook some food, and we meet this French family who we have dinner with. We share a couple of bottles of wine between the family and us and everything, and time went so fast. Looking back at it now, it's just like hilarious how this all turned out, because we've had a few drinks at this point. We're warm, let's say, and it's 11:30 or so, and it's a good 15-minute walk to get back here. And we're like, oh, I was kind of umming and ahhing if I wanted to take the photo or not, but then Laurie was just like, you know what, let's go. It's like, okay, we're going. So we stumbled our way back to the beach, back to the tree, where there was still a solid group of people taking photos, which I did not expect at 11:30 at night. And we got this photo. Good start. It's a good start for the Astro. It took a little while to get, warm into it and set the camera and everything. I had Laurie using a phone light, which did not impress the other photographers there. My bad. I got her using a phone light to illuminate. You can see the light, bouncing off the branches and everything there. And I think it's a really good image. The bottom of it is a little dark and you can't see the base of the tree, but pretty good start. And then this image popped up. This here is the money shot. I have never taken a photo like this before. There has been a little bit of work that's gone into the photo, just, balancing out the light on the right side of the tree here. There was an entire string of lights because of the town behind the tree. And I just wanted it to be a bit more focused, so I did a bit of photoshopping and made it even. But the color, the light, one of those moments where you're just like, I nailed it. I'm so happy I've got this image. This is something that I will print later, and I'm very happy about it. This is something that hits different about astrophotography. It just feels good, it feels different. When you see the image after the long exposure, because when you're setting this camera up, you can't really see what the final image is gonna look like. You're just kind of guessing. And when you see it and it comes out great and you've got nice light and it all just kind of, comes together, it's special. And this image is special. I know you probably can't see us because it's so dark, but we just got some of the best astro photos I've ever gotten in my whole time of taking photos. And I cannot wait to share them, even though it's so dark. Oh, hang on, you can see my hood. Hello. That was far. A few wines, chatting to some French people because we made friends. That was sick, so good. What a night. They finished it off with some astro with the tree in Wanaka. A dream. A dream. Not only because it's technically, I think, good, but the story behind how this became something that we have is just awesome. All right, and that wraps up episode 3 of our New Zealand trip. Hope you enjoyed Wanaka in this beautiful, cozy town with me. And tomorrow is another cozy one. So I will see you then. Thank you so much for watching so far. If you like the video and everything, sub, like, and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.